from Armand's. It was the Chicago deep dish, the first of its kind in DC, very popular. And it was his sidekick, a guy named Mad Mike. And he goes, "Yeah, great, we'll do it." And he said, "You want to meet Chris?" Chris Jagger was the host. And I said, "Yeah." Again, I was a teenager and big radio station and everything else. So he takes me back in, and I don't know, I was probably about this tall at the time. And Chris, 6'6". So I walk into this monster of a person. I'm like, "Hello." And he starts talking, and his sidekick tells him the deal. And he said, "All right." He goes, "That's great." He goes, "Well, get ready. We're about to go on." I said, "Do what?" And he pushed a mic in front of me. And we went on the air. And I don't honestly remember what I said because you go in that mode of survival. Like you just, deer in the headlights. I think I said like 3 words because he's like, "Oh, we're here." And he dubbed me Joe the Pizza Guy is here. And he's going to get his free pizza if he gets a date with Dana, right? And I think I said, "Yes, absolutely." That probably was my debut. Something along those lines. Clicks the mic off, plays a song, and the phone lines all start lighting up. And it's all kids I went to school with saying, "Is that Joe Giganti on the phone or on the air?" And I'm going, "Wait a minute, I talk into this thing and everyone hears this. This is kind of fun. Let's do this." So becoming a regular on the show as Joe the Pizza Guy. Armand's got a slew of free advertising for a long time because anytime I'd be there, I'd bring a pizza in. And of course, they'd talk about how good it was on the air. And that's actually how I got started. I'd love to tell you it was like as lofty as your son who just recited part of our declaration, but it was a girl. And by the way, I did get the date. Her uncle was the general manager of the pizzeria. And when we broke up, he fired me. So it's a good thing I had radio to fall back on because, yeah, pizza was not in my future. So anyway, I just completely unimportant to tonight and to what's coming on November 5th. But I just thought it was a fun story. I feel Joan. I feel the eyes. She's like, "Get to it." No, I'm just kidding. Look, I understand. I met Tim. He's a great man. He is a man of integrity. And then I met the power that is, but this is true. Look, it's the truth. It's the same truth in my house. I mean, my 12-year-old said to me, he goes, "Dad, I thought you were the head of the household one day when mom said to do something." And I said, "Yes, do what she did." And he said, "I thought you were the head of the household." I said, "I am." And he goes, "Why didn't you speak up?" I said, "Wisdom." That's why I said, because I said, "Just give it some time, son." So we have 10 days, 10 days. Now, here's the fun thing about it. I don't want to depress everybody, but you realize we keep fighting after those 10 days. You get about 12 hours off, and then we'll be back to it. But no, we have in 10 days what is the most important election, certainly of our lifetime. It's arguably the most important election in the history of our country. I know many people have said it. I talk about it every day because it is that important, but it really is. And there's so many people. You're here tonight, so obviously you're part of the solution. That's the good news. The bad news is we need more. We need more of you. Of course, as conservatives, we oppose cloning because it's morally wrong. But in Chicago, they just call that the dead voting. But either way, we have to turn out the ace in the hole, if you will, that we have in this election is turning out as many people as possible. Now, the good news on that is when we look at the numbers just here in Wisconsin, more than 100,000 hunters did not vote in the last presidential election. Now, of course, they're hunters, so they have guns. So I don't suggest walking up and smacking someone and being like, "Hey, get out and vote." But maybe a very strong verbal rebuke. Evangelical Christians, I think it was 70,000, didn't vote. That's shocking to me. Now, I'm not a hunter, but I am a gun owner. And I understand the importance of, as Elon Musk recently said, the First Amendment, so you can redress your grievances. You have the Second Amendment, so you hold on to the First Amendment. And it's very true. And we have all of it at the state level and the federal level on the line. It just today, between when my show's done at 11 a.m., and I appreciate it. For those that haven't listened, please tune in. We can find everything you want to know about the show at regjoeshow.com. REG stands for regular, regjoeshow.com. But we go off the air at 11 o'clock. Between 11 o'clock and when I got in the car to come here, two major stories breaking on illegal voting going on. First, in the state of Virginia, an activist judge overruled or is trying to overrule the governor and tell him he has